Welcome to this session on understanding your natural voice for marketing and sales. Every professional content is starting to sound the same right now. And if you think about it, AI can write our captions, our emails, your entire pitch in seconds. And everyone is reaching out for the same tools in the same way, which means the words aren't the differentiator anymore. What can't be copied is you, the specific way you're built to communicate. My name is Banu, and I am the co-founder of Alignment Key and a teacher at the BG5 Business Institute, the application of human design for business and for entrepreneurs. And today, what I want to do is I'll take you through a journey of discovering your own voice and communication from a place of authenticity, which allows you to stand out because you're you and you're unique. And when you communicate from that place, not overridden by some AI, you're fractal and your clients will find you. So I want to tell you a little bit about human design as we begin this. The human design is the science of differentiation. Every one of us is unique, and that uniqueness actually is our frequency. So if you think about it, from the day we're born, we are conditioned to fit into the society, to fit into the family we're born to. So sometimes instead of putting our uniqueness forward, we just try to fit in. And today with AI, more and more of that is really trickling down to our marketing, to our sales pitch, how we show up in social media, and our online webinars, even how we show up in person because we're prepped by some AI. Right? So human design helps you understand how you are at your core and communicate that in a way that will be received well by your clients, so they're more attracted to you. Your voice. So let's think about this. Your voice isn't just what people hear when you speak. It's your frequency. And that frequency will come through in everything you put out. Don't just think of it like it's audio. Yeah, it's in your writing, it's in your captions, it's in your reels. So people can feel the difference between content that's coming from your actual frequency and content that isn't. Even in something as simple as a video you put out or some caption that's being captured. This is exactly what all the AIs out there can't replicate. They can write in words, but they can't carry your frequency. So that's what makes it ever more important. So when you know what your frequency is, things, of course, will start shifting for you. So writing that thing that you're going to speak about, for example, stops feeling like a performance. And you will no longer be reaching out for someone else's voice anymore or some words that don't belong to you, whether you're writing it, whether you're speaking it, or you're emailing about it. Yes, you're going to be using your own. So people stop seeing content that could be anyone's and start recognizing you, specifically you. So then the clients who show up aren't just anyone who just happened to be scrolling through things or they just scroll past things. They're the ones who were actually looking for what you had to carry on. So my invitation to you is to believe in what you have and to bring that uniqueness forward. And hopefully in this session, I'm going to help you discover a little bit into that. So communication isn't one skill everyone should have the same amount of. It's also not just being about confidence. It's not about being more consistent or more polished. What your design does, what you are born with, already points to the specific built-in things, forms that are actually yours. And today we're going to find out about these. What I would like to invite all of you now is to get your personalized human design charts. This one is going to speak the business language, yes, because we concentrate on human design for business and for entrepreneurs. So you could use this QR code on this slide, or you could go to www.bg5businessinstitute.com. When you get your chart, which is going to look different, yes, here I have mine on this slide. This chart tells us so much about you, how you are designed to move with flow, how you are here to make decisions, what are the signposts that tell you whether you're on track for yourself or not. And of course, today's topic of how you can communicate best. So we are going to be concentrating on the communication and action function today, so which is the one I marked on the slide. So when you have your chart, you're just going to have to enter your birth date details into the system. and you have your chart. So look at this area, which is the communication and action, and look at the gate numbers that are highlighted for you. The square itself can be brown or it could be white. That's not important for today. Just look at the numbers that are highlighted for you, because those are going to give us great cues into how you are here to communicate from your design, what you were blessed with, what are your unique gifts, and how people can perceive you and resonate with you better. So in the upcoming slides, I'll tell you what they stand for, so you can start understanding your voice and how you're here to communicate by design. So let's start one by one. So if you happen to have the 62 highlighted, which I have marked on the slide again, that's where it is. You have this voice and it speaks true facts and detail. It's reasonable, it's grounded. So if this is you, you're most convincing when you're laying out exactly how things work. So for example, if you're doing your social media, talk about the facts in your domain. Talk about the details of things. Do not keep things high level, okay? People will respond to these things from you. Speak what is convincing to their logical mind in detail. For example, how does what you do work for them? Details of that are good examples. So this is what you want to communicate. And once you start experimenting with this, you will see that people will resonate with this. Or you might just find out you already communicate like this because it's inherent in you, unless you keep on overriding it with something that you're receiving from outside, or you're borrowing voices from people who tell you, okay, this is how you can speak, this is how you should do it, right? And then it becomes harder if it's not your own. But because you have this, you might resonate with this as I'm speaking to you. I'm just bringing it to your awareness, and the ones to continue, of course, some of you will have those other ones, so that it will shine through you when you speak. Let's move on to the next one. If you happen to have gate 23, in BG5, Human Design for Business Language, we call them traits actually, but I did refer to them as gates for this session. I happen to have this myself. So this voice speaks through insight. It says, I know. So it's an insight, something you know before you can fully explain why even. So if this is you, your strongest moments are when you say what you know plainly without over justifying. So if you were to do your social media, for example, say what you know as a statement, not so much as a suggestion, because what you know, doesn't need proof. So you don't need to pile it on some type of proof or backstory to justify it. Trust the insight and let it stand on its own. People will respond to the certainty in it, not to the explanation behind it. Think about this. What do you just know to be true in your work without maybe being able to fully explain why? That's what you lead with. I've been teaching human design for a long time, and I have a corporate background, and I've been speaking what I know for a very long time. So then people, even in corporate settings, they don't question it as much because they know I know what I'm talking about, and it will come across in my frequency, in the way I say things, and that's what I'm supposed to say. That's how I make my LinkedIn posts, or if you do things on Instagram, or if you do webinars. If you have gate 23, speak your insights and speak to what you know. People will relate to this. If you have gate 56, so you looked in your chart and you marked this, it's highlighted for you. This voice speaks through conviction. It speaks through stories, through the bigger picture, and it speaks to what it believes in. It says, I believe. So people will respond to you when you speak from what you believe. So whether you're telling a story on video, lead with what you believe before you lead with proof, and let the story carry it. So if you have this, think about, what do you believe about your work that you could wrap inside a story and share it with your audience, because they will relate to this. If you have gate 16, this is something that speaks through skills, what you've tested and mastered. So that's why it says, I experiment. If this is you, you build trust by showing your process, not just your results. Let's say you're doing a video for social media, or you're going to write something in a newsletter, or it's a post. For example, the video example, film yourself actually doing the thing, testing it, adjusting it. People trust this more than you describing it. Or how you have experimented with it. You can speak about these things. If you have gate 31, this one says, I lead. This voice speaks through direction. People listen because you are pointing somewhere. This is something that, in your content, it works best when you're clearly leading. not just informing. So it could be like you leading them to what's their next, where to look, take a direction. So your authority comes from this clarity. So build on that. What are you leading in? If you speak around these topics, if you brainstorm what you're going to communicate, even in your live sessions, when you're doing one-on-one sales, when we're speaking to clients in your discovery sessions, you can speak about the subjects that are in your design. If you have 35, this one says, I feel. It speaks through experience, what it actually felt like. So your most powerful content names the feeling. It's not about facts. Say what you actually felt like when you were in the experience. And people will really respond to that emotion that comes across from that emotion, what you felt. So this is what you do if you have gate 35. Think about these things. What can you communicate in this? What you have experienced, what emotions you got that you're here to share. And it will come across in your frequency. Perhaps the first time when you did what you were selling now or what you are offering now, or when you're delivering it, how does it feel? How do your clients feel in the experiment or the experience? Gate 33 says, I remember. It's the voice that speaks through reflection, what you've lived and what you carry forward. So if this is your most trusted when you speak from what you've actually been through, it's a little bit on looking at things like a retreat, looking back, what you've heard, what you've gathered, what you've lived through. So for these type of people who have gate 23, speaking what you remember, it can be a little longer. It can be in blogs and newsletters. Speak through what you've actually lived through and what you want to carry forward. So those reflections will carry out as credibility and people will resonate with that. You might have gate 20 and it says, I am now. So this speaks in the moment. It's decisive, it's present, and it's not about rehearsals. So if this is you, your best content is unscripted. It's not a planned version. So if you're going to say something, if you're planning something, see what comes in the now. And that's what people will resonate best with. If you have gate 8, this one speaks to I can. It's what your contribution is going to be, your capability, certainty in what you're going to deliver. So you convince people, you sell, you market by showing what you can deliver and contribute. So think about what you are here to contribute, what you can actually deliver, and speak to that. If you have gate 12, this is something that speaks through timing, knowing when to say things and when to hold back. This works best if you have this, if your content is timed to the moment, not just scheduled. You should be in the mood to say what you say and act on that. So honor that. So being more spontaneous, holding back when you feel it's not the right time will work for you best. If you have 45, this one says I have. It speaks through resource and value, what you bring to the table. If this is you, people respond when you speak plainly about what you have to offer, not around it. Okay, here's what I have to offer you. So if you're writing in your website, on your offer page, where you're talking, speak about what you actually have to offer. Don't dance around your value. State it directly. What do you have? Resources, experience, results that you've been talking around instead of stating it plainly. Think about that and speak about what you have to offer, the value that you will provide. So these are some tips and an introduction, of course, in the limited time that we have. So now that you know which of these are yours, you can start putting them to work. Start with your social media, your posts, your reels, your website, your bio, your LinkedIn, your webinars, your live presentations, your sales calls, your emails. For each of these, lead with your natural voice. Not the one you think you're supposed to because you've heard it somewhere. Choose a topic that feels actually closer to you, that flows naturally, where you're an authority in. You will resonate with these because they're in you. No, you're not going to say, oh, that's brand new. With some of them you might, because you might have borrowed things from people from outside. You might have learned it as a child. But look into these. You will discover so much. My invitation to you is to start experimenting with your authentic voice and see how that is generating more engagement and more clients for you, and then you can refine it over time. I'm Banu, and I'd really like to thank you for listening to this. Let's connect and stay in touch. And if you'd like more information on understanding yourself through your design better and deeper and how to apply it to your business, you can visit the BG5 Business Institute's website as well. I also have a QR code for potential classes you might take on this slide. I'd like to thank you. Goodbye for now, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in further workshops and classes. Bye-bye.